and friends.
Fans and frenemies.
Yeah. So this is Creative Revolution Show. Thank you for joining us. Today we're doing the year in review 2022. And our intention is to have this airing on New Year's Day of 2023. So great time to wrap up what happened this year. So we'll start with, I got invited to be an instructor in an ukulele course online, which was really great. I got to learn my way around Zoom and got to be of service to a bunch of really great people and make some friends along the way.
And I got to hear great music throughout the house.
Oh, and you have your gratitude journal.
Oh yeah, so I put that out right before the end of last year, but we'll call it a 2023 because it was designed to start on January 1st. A 365-day photo journal that I hand picked out of over 1,000 photos, for 365 of them, and created this custom journal to inspire autonomy, mastery, and purpose.
Cool.
And then I seasonally do a lot of different things for San Miguel Olive Farm. Richard and Myrna have an international award-winning olive oil that they produce. They're a micro producer, and they win the biggest awards in the world. So I have the wonderful privilege of getting to work on their vinegar labels, their premium vinegar, and I've been doing some of their olive oil labels too, which is kind of a little feather in my cap. They look real cute.
Yeah. Cool. Then this year, we started Axe to Grind. Now, Axe to Grind is not a band. It's a club and exclusive membership. It actually doesn't really take much to be a member. You just got to be cool and come with a good attitude. And we jam with all of our friends, and we started doing that once a week.
And no apologies.
Actually, early in the year, and then so it's still going. So even this week, we had a session this week on Wednesday.
Did.
So
Yep.
Every Wednesday, we have some great friends. Let's see, Jack and Daniel,
Chad,
Dan, Carla, Bev, Jeff, and Robert, and Steve, and Jim, and we'll see who else comes in because the membership is open.
well, Tammy may be coming this year.
And Tammy might be coming this year.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
It's a growing membership. Ron and I did another massive road trip. This year, I planned 45 days for us on the road. All new campgrounds, except for my sister and her husband's cottage. That's like a standard. But every other place was brand new. We met so many wonderful people and had amazing experiences. Let's talk about a few of those favorites at the top of our list. So Buena Vista, Colorado was a recommendation by our dear friend Kaylee of Prairie Patch Farm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
It was great. We met some cool people there. There was no hosts or anything like that, but everybody was very welcoming. The terrain was awesome. There was mountains. There was, what do they call those? The collegiate view mountains. There's the really high elevation there, and it was just beautiful. We went up and drove up the mountains to the Transcontinental Divide, which you can look that up. It's a pretty cool
12,090 feet we were at, and I didn't even run out of breath.
Part of our trip was we were on our way to, we went to Wisconsin and Michigan, actually total, and then it came back west. But part of that, we went for a hike with our ukuleles with some good friends I met online. That would be Gretchen and Rich. And we went on a hike in Wisconsin at Devil's Lake.
Yes, and it was hot. And then we started traveling north on the east side of Wisconsin, up through Door County, Wisconsin, which is just beautiful. It's known as the cherry capital, like so many places are. And we had a beautiful county park hike right along the Michigan shoreline. It was so beautiful. Then we made our way up to, oh, look who's here. He went too. Miss Sabine went to the trip too. She didn't go on the boats though.
So we visited your family.
Yep.
Your sister,
her husband,
Sue and Jesse, at their cottage, and we saw your dad and your brothers.
Both my brothers.
A couple other friends. Kaylee visited.
Yes.
She came to the cottage, and so we got to see her there. And
that was very
went boating with her and stuff, and had dinner. I had a couple of days visiting with her. That was
We
cool.
we started doing concerts on the road now this last trip too.
Yep.
So Ron set up this beautiful little mini system for us to be able to plug in and play and be amplified, and it just worked out.
I think we got to do 5
Yeah.
shows along the road during that time.
It was really, really nice. We had a great time, and people very much enjoyed it.
So from there, we went, stayed a couple places in Wisconsin, but then went north in Wisconsin and over through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Stayed there, went over to Mackinac Bridge and stayed in that area, Mackinac Island. Saw the largest waterfall in Michigan, or
Yeah.
freshwater.
Yep.
Waterfall?
Tequamanon Falls.
Yep. And then from there, we went to the middle of the state, around Grayling, and went canoeing on the Asable River. My sister and her husband, Todd, Kelly and Todd, came and went camping with us and
That
stayed
was
there.
super cool.
So we had a night with them camping and 2 nights, right?
2 nights.
2 nights, and had a wonderful canoe trip on the Asable River.
Okay.
From there, then we headed south towards the Detroit area where my family's at, and visited my dad and my sister and aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, a bunch of family members. And my dad had his 88th birthday this
He
year.
did.
So happy birthday again.
That's
It was
right.
a wonderful time seeing him.
Yeah, and we started heading south and west, and we stayed at a bunch of really cool places like Harvest Hosts, farms, and wineries. And then we ended up in, was it Missouri?
Yeah, that's where the
Dan?
Mark Twain Museum is and
Mark
stuff.
Twain Museum and Campground.
Yeah, and so we
was
stayed
great.
there and had lunch with another friend I met online. Happened to be passing close to his house, so we had lunch at
It's a drummer.
the what kind of mushroom? Mellow mushroom.
Mellow mushroom.
Yeah, so we had lunch and
In
met
St.
with him
Pete's.
and played a little ukulele there too. And then as we left there, we went back through Colorado again, and then went to Arches. Did I miss anything?
Well, in Colorado, we narrowly avoided 2 major flash floods. Like, we literally missed one getting to the place we were going to, and one we got to the place and we drove. How would you say? We drove faster than the storm was coming. We missed the flood. So it was really interesting stories that we had from all our campground hosts and people in the area, and then
We went to Moab,
Yes.
but we got there like just a day after it had flooded there. So the streets were full of sand and mud, and a lot of the restaurants and retail outlets in the downtown area were like full of sand. It was all like closed and disaster area locally, and all on the news and stuff. And we didn't have any idea what we were getting into. We just thought it was a sandy and dusty town, but turned out to be another really wonderful place to go. And we
Arches is beautiful. One
Yeah,
of
we
my
went-
favorite places.
went to Arches National Park while we were there. That was
Our
great
two and a
place.
half hour trip turned into about 7 hours. That's kind of the thing with
That's
us these
standard
days.
for us. Yeah, that's just generally how it goes.
Then we moved through southern Utah, through Hendersonville, Nebraska, by Lake Mead, and then back up through Tehachapi, California. So we left Lake Mead, which is in Nevada, and we went down through Southern California up to Tehachapi, where we got to stay for a second time at this cool little campground near a municipal airport that does glider training and glider rides. So it's really fun in the morning to get up and watch them do the glider stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made our way home in about 4 hours from there, and got home by 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. So then just talk about the changes we had with Vava Vegan.
Oh yeah, well, we got food clients. I'm making food for people. It's super fun. And that
Yeah. So if you don't know, the Vava Vegan is a business that we have, and we offer classes in plant-based cooking and nutrition, and then we do videos with some of the recipes and cooking show kind of stuff. Yeah. So
Exactly. I have a blog on Substack called Vava Vegan, or Vava Vegan Chef, and that's fun.
and a full roster of clients. We can't cook for anybody else until somebody drops. So there's a waiting list started. So if you want to get on the waiting list
Yeah.
for classes
Give
and
us a call.
classes and prepared meals, let us know.
Exactly.
All right. Then, of course, we launched this Creative Revolution show this year. and I think it was starting in the fall. It was after we came back from our
Yes,
trip and
October
we started
1st
it.
was our first
So
outfit.
already we've gotten 3 episodes published on the internet and on YouTube and other places, and this will be the 4th episode, which is obviously our year in review. And today we just recorded, video recorded our next guest, which is going to be Nathan,
Right.
which will air in February, by the way. So
Exactly. And then what we have coming up is our friend Sherry, who's a winemaker, and she's making bubbles at a fancy place here in town. We have Daniel's Woodlands on the list, our friend and former student Joseph and his music, our great friend Eldie with his photography and music and more, San Miguel Olive Farm, Carrie and her bread making, our friend Nicole's art. There's so much to come. It's going to be great.
yeah. And speaking of San Miguel Olive Farm, I think we're going to feature them as well as guests, and we're going to probably do it right from their tasting room. Possibly do one of our living room concerts from there. If you didn't already know, Sharine does the graphic arts and does their label design and label printing for them. And then I actually got to work in the orchard and did some tree trimming and pruning and weed pulling and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, we're like entrenched in the business.
So it'll be fun. They're longtime friends, nearly 20 years now that we've known them. So Richard and Myrna.
Talk about the fun collaboration with Paul that you just
yeah.
started.
So in episode 2, we had Paul Shelley on, who is a guitar instructor and longtime friend. We played together a lot in the Los Angeles area. And when we were on the show, I just had this crazy idea that we would collaborate over the internet. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm game." So next thing you know, we collaborate on a video where we split the screen and we're both on screen. And we have another one in the making. It's I got the footage from Paul this week, and I'm going to do my part. And then we're already planning to do a trio with Sharine. We're going to do a jazz standard, and who knows what's going to come after that. But
Yeah.
I think we're going to have this going for a while too.
It's
It'll be a regular feature for us.
Yeah.
I have my own YouTube channel as well, which is based around guitar and ukulele. People who might have questions or want to see what kind of things I do. And
so we launched Ron and Sharine's Living Room Concert Series. And we've already done the first one. It's up on YouTube and the Creative Revolution show.
Well, we did the first concert here in our own living room, but coming up, we're going to do a concert at Dan and Tammy's living room. Perhaps Daniel's mom would have us. Carla has expressed some interest in having living room concert, but who knows? I think we got a good 4 or 5 months already planned, and so we'll see how all that rolls out. There's that. Featured artists, I think we'll probably have Nathan do a concert, and our good friend Joseph. He could be a guest on the show too here, but he's a guitar player, a young man that we've known for a really long time. We might do some individual spotlights where Sharine might play some stuff by herself, and I might do a spotlight for me. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then, maybe we'll even feature the Axe to Grind Club members in a featurette.
Yes, I like it. Yes, and as we were getting toward the end of the year, it's my birthday time, so we had a holiday/birthday party here at the house with some of our favorite local friends who could make it, with good food and great conversation. It's just a big, warm, fuzzy, and lots of laughs. We made music. It was wonderful. And what else? We had dinner with Carla and Jack.
Yeah, we wrapped up the year with dinner with our good friends Carla and Jack. She made a wonderful plant-based or vegan dinner for the 4 of us, and we played some music. We sang some songs. We just caught up on what's been happening the last couple weeks, and that was last night. And so today we videotaped our episode that's going to feature Nathan Spooner.
Yeah.
So here we are. It's now the 30th, and we'll get all the editing and everything done on this and have it aired on Sunday, January 1st.
And I got to get back in the kitchen.
So we started off the show, and we're gonna end the year with a bang too, like bang a gong. And the story behind this gong is it came from our artist friend Birch Ward.
Here's artwork is behind our heads.
It just sings like in front of my face. But anyway, so she gave us this gong. It used to sit on top of her fountain, which she also like donated to us years ago. So let's do a 3 ringy dingy to go out.
Are you ready?
All right, thanks. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, we're still making stuff up.